Welcome back, guys, and today we're going over some big quality of life changes, content updates, AI improvements, and other sort of miscellaneous changes coming to War of the Visions. There's a lot of cool stuff to come in here. You guys for spending, once again, a little bit of your time here today, and thank you to our supporters and sponsors via Patreon, as well as our YouTube channel members. Can't do it without you guys. You guys mean the world to me here and allow us to do what we do on the channel. So notice this here. Let's go in here. This is going to be the Frontline War of the Visions FFBE hashtag #3 update. Greetings, players. We hope you're enjoying War of the Visions, etc. So they're going to go over a lot of the changes we're going to be getting as soon as possible coming in the next update, etc. So let's get in here. We're going to have our first raid. This is going to be June 10th. It's going to be our first raid event where you're going to be able to queue up with allies and go into multiplayer and defeat a highly difficult, so this should be more difficult in a lot of ways than what we're doing right now, where we have like the Iron Giant event, etc. That was just a taste of what a raid battle is going to be like. Now, every time you defeat a raid boss, it's going to grow stronger over time. So the more you defeat it, the better the rewards get, the more harder and difficult that encounter also gets. And you kind of see what you're doing here. The rewards are going to become better and better and better. Content is going to become harder and harder and harder. And so you're going to want to get in there with as many strong allies as possible. You know, get in there with your guild, communicate with some friends through a Discord or other means, and get in there and have some fun with that. So I'm looking forward to the raid on the 10th there. No details in the Frontline news here as to what exactly that raid is going to be, but it should be entertaining nonetheless. So now we're going to hit this one right here, the Exchange Shop feature / addition. So this is going to allow you guys to trade items like weapon gems and materials and other sort of things for greater, lesser, or equal value. So what does this mean? So this means stuff like this. They'll show it off right here with this sword azurite here. You can either make a better sword azurite, right? So you can go up to the purple version, down to the green version, or you can trade your sword azurite into other sort of azurites here, as you can see here. So there's upward exchange, downward exchange, equivalent exchange. So this is going to be something that you're going to be able to utilize to use these extra sort of different azurites and shariites and the purple and red and green materials and yellow ones, whatever ones you don't really need. Maybe you've got a bunch of you know, cleric ones and you don't use the cleric ones for anything. And you can trade those in for other different types, right? If you are looking and working on your characters and they need the yellow materials or the pink / red materials, and you get unlucky and you're getting a bunch of other things that you don't need to use, you can use those ones you don't value in the equivalent exchange to trade those in for other red or purple or whatever equivalent tier you're looking for. So this is going to be a big help when trying to level up your characters. It's going to reduce the grind by a significant margin, especially for those yellow and red materials you need for the higher tier jobs, because some of the best ways to get those materials in a drop situation is in that multiplayer farm, but it drops all of them all at the same time. So now you can go in there, get the ones that you want to drop, and then the ones that drop that you don't need, you can turn those into other materials. So this is going to be a cool thing for a lot of players out there. I'm looking forward to this, especially. It also is going to be helpful if you're starting a new character. You don't got to go back and farm the green materials. You can just, you know, turn some of your blue ones or your purple ones all the way down into green if you want to. So this is going to be an awesome thing to be added to War of the Visions there. It's going to help that grind a lot. So let's get in here. They're talking about the animated trailer. I'm sure you've seen it if you haven't. But it's pretty cool. They keep wanting people to watch it, so it's on their YouTube channel. Go ahead and check it out. But additional features here, battle improvements. Now this is going to be a big one, especially for AI PvP arena. But we've talked about this before. It's been like this in JP for a long time. If you watch my tank video, I talked about this was going to be implemented at some point. This is how it was going to work. That's already been discussed in that video, but we'll talk about what is going to be influenced and changed as they talk about it here. So a unit's hate stat influences and fluctuates based on their actions. So something like Vow of Love, right? You get 5 hate. So when you enter a battle with Vow of Love on, you have 5 hate. How this works right now, it kind of just seems to last almost for forever, right? You get in those PvP matches and your character's just wailing that tank and wailing that tank and that hit on that tank over and over and over and over and over again until he just dies, right? Or you don't kill their Engelbert or their Mount or whoever, and your DPS character is just stuck in that tank for forever. Here is going to be the change. So here's the change that's coming in. whenever someone with aggro hate that's higher than 0 gets attacked, their hate stat is going to drop by 2. So what this means, right? So for instance, you have Vowel Love on a tank. They start at 5 hate. You get hit, it's going to drop to 3. Then you get hit again, it's going to drop to 1. And you get hit again, and it's going to drop to 0. You can't drop into negative hate. The only way you get into negative hate is by skills like Hide or from Ninja. Things that will actually just decrease you down into the negatives. Only through skills will you be able to drop into the negatives, and only through skills can you go into the positives. So if you get just hit, and you're at 0, you're going to stay at 0. If you hit someone else and you're at 0, you're going to stay at 0. Now, the other ways to gain hate is with, here you go, doing damage while you have negative enmity will actually gain you hate. So if you use Hide and then you hit something, you're going to gain 2 hate until you approach 0. You can't go above it from actually just doing damage. The only way you can actually gain hate is through skills like Taunting Blade, Taunting Spell from those 2 jobs. There's going to be other skills in the future that we see on Warrior of Light and Rain that are going to do this as well. So what does this mean for PvP? It means that if you build like a pretty fast team and some of the characters that are, you know, kind of influenced by hate right now in the game are those characters with long ranges like Frederica, etc., you're going to be attracted to that tank for a little while, but a lot of tanks out there like Engelbert and Mont, they're pretty slow. So if you have like a fast Frederica, your first, you know, couple of attacks might actually go into their tank, but maybe your Frederica hits their tank, and then your tank hits their tank, and then your other character hits their tank. That's 3 hits. That tank now has 0 hate. So until that Engelbert is allowed to use his Taunting Blade attack, which costs 44 AP, he's no longer tanking anything anymore. Your characters are free to hit whoever they want in AI PvP. So this is going to be a big change, guys. A big change for the PvP meta. Now, there's going to be some other changes, adjustments to damage taken while casting. So this is going to help out mages as well. So another sort of tank nerf. It's kind of like a tank nerf right now, guys. This is because mages are really good against tanks. So this is going to change how much damage they're going to be taking. Right now, if you're casting a spell, you take a bonus damage. Now, this is a lot more bonus damage than I guess they intended for you to be tanking here. So damage taken while casting was greater than the normal amount. It will be now lowered to the normal amount. So you now will no longer take bonus damage while casting. This means that like Medina and other mages are going to be able to walk up closer to your Engelbert, etc., and then they're going to be able to just get in there and cast that flare attack. And if it doesn't get off, maybe before they get attacked, they're not going to be taking extra bonus damage. They might still die, but they're going to have to take a little bit more damage. They're not going to be taking, you know, 3.5k from an auto attack, etc. So it might help them out in that way, taking those tanks out. Now, abilities that decrease the hate stat. Due to the changes in the hate stat fluctuations, adjustments will also be made to abilities that alter hate stats. So when using the same ability, the effects overlap and the effects turns persist. So like we talked about, Taunting Blade, Taunting Spell, Hide, these all affect hate. Then we have some limit burst, right? Old Leonis has a hate on his Leonis banner or barrier, Leonis barrier, limit burst. Rob Horn's Majestic Prestige, and Katone's Fleet of Foot has Fleet of Foot is not a limit burst. Fleet of Foot is her TMR skill. But I guess they kind of messed that up there. Katone's Limit Burst does not affect hate at all. It is her TMR skill. Her TMR skill is called Fleet of Foot. Her Limit Burst is Saiga Shadowbind and has nothing to do with hate. It will be harder to use magic or abilities in their casting phase on enemy units that have already fallen. So this is going to be some other AI changes. So this is going to prevent, you know, like your 2 mages casting Blizzaga on the same target, even though one of the Blizzagas is going to kill it and then the spell gets wasted. Hopefully, this is going to highly influence that. This is going to be a big change if it does. Camera work speed while KO'd units are on the field will be revised. So hopefully this is going to keep the camera from snapping around the battlefield. It gets all really jerky and is kind of slow and just kind of bogs things down when there's like 3, 4, 5 dead things. It just goes slowly to each thing on the ground. And then bravery will not fall below 10 after a battle ends. This is going to help out new players or those guys out there who don't know exactly how to keep their bravery up. It's going to prevent characters from turning into chickens at the start of every battle there. Some units' battle voices will be implemented, so that'll be cool there. Multi-quest improvement settings, auto and speed settings will be carried over when making subsequent rooms. Players will be able to kick members. Hopefully this won't be a way for people to abuse the kick function. Hopefully this is finally going to be a way, though, Two, we've all been in multiplayer where someone just doesn't come back into the room, and the only choice then is to just disband the room. So that's pretty much what it needs to be used for. Obviously, there's going to be some other people. You know, it's your room. If you want to kick someone for it, go for it. But the more time you spend there kicking people that don't meet your exact requirements, hey, the more time you're not playing the game. So that's a thing. 2, guild improvements. Raising JP and bravery when entering unit barracks remains unchanged, but you can now also choose to lower or raise your faith as well. So this is going to be pretty awesome out there for people who are trying to put mages, healers, anyone they want to have higher faith in the barracks. This is going to help you out in a lot of ways. So happy to see that there. Guild battle adjustments. The following adjustments will be implemented to make guild battles more enjoyable. The number of stars is the same. The victor with the guild that has taken the greater percentage of HP from the other's defense party. I'm not sure what this means because we already kind of have damage done in case of a tie right now. Now this says percentage of HP, so you know, if you have a full wipe, right? Maybe, you know, you have 81 total stars that you can get from my guild, and I have 81 total stars that I can get from your guild. It's a full clear. We've done 100% of each other's defense parties. So I don't really know if I'm missing something here. Let me know down below if I'm missing something here. But it seems like if I full wipe you and you full wipe me, we've done 100% of each player's defense parties, and that's still a tie. So who knows? Obviously, there's gonna be some other instances where maybe we don't full wipe each other, but we have the same amount of stars, and your team has like a giant Engelbert, and my team has like I don't know, not a tank party, and so we've done lower percentage total of your defense parties or something really weird. But we already had like a thing to break ties, but I'm not sure. Battle records will be added to the guild screen. A button will be added to the home screen to take you to your guild battle when it begins. That's cool. The offensive side's gauge information will change to the defense party's HP percentage. Okay, so that little bar at the top will show you the defense party's HP percentage. Players will be able to more easily select defense members with improved visibility. All right, that's pretty cool. That'll help out, although defense members with improved visibility. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure if that's setting defense members or choosing who to attack. But here's the big one here, equipment improvements. So this is going to help you guys finish up that +5 armor here. You're going to be able to finally inherit the type of gear that you want to have. So this is going to be the big change that people were waiting for, to +5 all of their stuff. A lot of people were, you know, doing +3, +4, but they were saving their stuff until this change came into play. So this means if you want an assault weapon or a magic weapon or a shield armor or a dodge armor, you're going to be able to inherit that specific type of stat attribute all the way up each time you +3, +4, +5. So it's going to be safe to do that, guys. This is going to be a good time to start crafting, or not even start crafting, but finish your crafting there. So that's going to be awesome. And E will be added in the in-use favorited equipment on the selection screen. So if you have something favorited, it's going to have an E there to let you know that you can't use it in crafting. So that's going to be a thing there. Option improvements, a function to vibrate the device at the end of battle will be added. I know a lot of people wanted this in for multiplayer farming, etc., where you're like auto repeating, and then you just want to be able to get back into the room. You want your phone to buzz or something, because sometimes you don't want it to make noise. A setting to send a push notification when chocobo expedition items and guild barracks provisions have reached max capacity will be added. That'll be nice for people who want to do that. And then other various UI updates. A companion setting guidance feature will be added. This feature only applies to new players. Current players will not be able to see this. And then future updates here. So things that aren't in here, right, that we were looking forward to. We don't have any of the AI turn off abilities thing. That's not in here yet. And that's going to be cool. It's going to be a big update when that comes out, but I don't think that's enough. I want to see some extra things, because sometimes turning just skills off doesn't make your AI do smart things or prevent them from doing really dumb things, like having your mages and healers cast a spell and then run point blank into a melee character's face, right? Things of that nature. Some of that stuff I would like to see worked on, maybe like an aggressive setting or a defensive setting, or something like the, I know I've seen a lot of people talk about the Gambit system in the FF12 to be able to kind of customize how your AI works. I know that'd be a big undertaking, but man, would that be fun. It'd be a fun way to start doing and having a little bit more control in these AI controlled scenarios. So quests, additional options during auto repeat to set a certain number of auto repeats, feature allowing you to set until you get a certain number of items and then auto repeat until you acquire those items. That's going to be a cool one for you there. Feature automatically restore energy. So that's going to be a lot of cool things there. Energy saving mode, auto formation option. So a lot of cool stuff. We're going to be adding defense and spirit to the stats display. Skip button will be added to guild battles, arena, etc. We're going to be able to move from the equipment enhanced screen to the awakened screen in one tap. That is something that needs to be kind of even more so than that, in my opinion. The equipment, the way that you craft items and stuff in this game, it is the most convoluted equipment. One of the most convoluted equipment processes that I've ever had to endure in a game. So something that I would like to see them add at some point would be, if I want to make a +5 item or whatever, I can just, now I don't have to make the +1, the +2, the +3, waking them all up, do it all manually. Maybe just the game will know what it takes to make X rarity at X level, and it'll just eat all of those mats. It'll eat all of my, it'll just eat everything. It'll eat my ores that need to level up, the things before it. It'll eat up all the recipes. It'll eat up all the materials. Just having to go and craft 16 normals, level them all up, or craft 16 normals and then craft 8 +1s and then level up the +1s to 10 and then craft, 4 +2s and then level those up to 10 and then awaken them all and then level them all up to 10 again and then make all those 3s and then level those 3s up to 10 and then awaken them all to max level 20 and then level them to 20 and then awaken them to 30 and then level them to 30 and then awaken them to +4. Like, that is just the dumbest thing ever. Just make it a thing, man. Please just let me just make the +4. It'd be way easier. Just eat all the mats and do it. That's my big thing there that needs to happen in the game. But before we go on a wild tangent, thank you guys for spending a little bit of time here today. Let me know what you want to see the most as content or quality of life in War of the Visions. Let me know what you think about these changes coming to War of the Visions. I think a lot of them are pretty good. There's going to be a lot more stuff that they need to add to really flesh out some of the moments in the game. So that's my take on it. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time here today. Hopefully you're having fun out there, staying safe, and I hope all is well with you. If you want to see more stuff like this, come to the channel, hit that subscribe button, notification bell on. Otherwise, I'm just going to drift off into the land of Fantasia. Is that a land? And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.